Hey there, fanboys and fangirls. This is your host, the other Luke, and joining me from the Upside Down
is the other host,
Charlotte Colvin,
Lord Skywalker,
and Raiden.
Raiden what?
Oh my.
If you've been on social media in the past, month or so, besides someone not standing up for the anthem and copyrights being going and all that crazy stuff,
something else happened, particularly something on Netflix.
Would you say strange things happened?
I'd say stranger things.
Yeah.
so we feel it's been a decent amount of time for everyone to have been able to check it out.
So Sean.
Well, Sean just doesn't. He doesn't like it. He says he just doesn't feel it, and we can't force those things onto him, even though he's making a foolish mistake.
You don't know me.
I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. You don't know what dude he is.
Speaking of Stranger Things.
Yes. Speaking of. So, I guess how to start this one off. If you're, whoa, jeez, the hostility coming over from this guy.
It's from a place of love.
No, it's not. It's evil.
You're gonna get ejected, Sean.
You could always reach over and slap him.
Yeah,
Okay.
but then it's slapped back, and then it's
It's a fight. Y'all will get an audible fight, and that's just
I don't want to bring you into that.
it's no fun when you can't actually see what's happening.
We'll turn the camera on first. I at least want to witness it.
All right. So
Sorry, it's back on topic.
we already have got an idea of what Sean thinks of Stranger Things. He couldn't get past the first episode. So,
Not even half of it.
Just like the first grade.
hey, I told them what they needed to hear, and then you had to go and be more brutally honest and say you didn't even get halfway through it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
We're
Anyway,
giving you the benefit of the doubt here.
Wait, who? What?
It's okay. We'll catch you up later. Continue.
So I've seen the entire show one time through, and I've seen the first 3 episodes twice because I've started going back through and rewatching it again to kind of see if there's anything I didn't catch the first time. But most of all, the one thing that kind of got me like right into it was a lot of the nostalgia, and that was like a lot of things that people were telling me, like, "Hey, you got to check this show out. This is right up your alley. This is everything you enjoy." And I mean, they were right. I mean,
Well, the first scene is them playing D&D.
yeah, like I didn't grow up playing D&D, but I had a small group of friends where we were always hanging out and we were playing. We staged from Pokemon to Yu-Gi-Oh to HeroClix to Magic, and we kind of like grew through those games. Yeah, yeah. So from just that alone, that was kind of cool to see. But then just everything within the production design of the whole movie, just the different posters, the floating Millennium Falcon. Yeah, you didn't see that, a floating Millennium Falcon, because you haven't got that far.
You've missed so many Star Wars references.
So many. Like, Lando becomes like a derogatory term.
Shame.
It's like we just got
Does it become the N-word?
It's like we just got Landoed.
That's racist.
Are you assuming that just because Lando's black, that a derogatory term
Yeah, because he's
as
the only
Lando
black,
would be the N-word?
he's the only black man in the galaxy. Of course, it's derogatory.
Finn
No, it just means he's a traitor.
Traitor!
Lando didn't betray anybody. He did for like 0.5 seconds and then redeemed himself.
He's still
Well, this is set in the 80s, and you would know that if you actually watched it.
Shame.
So what are y'all's initial thoughts on, I guess, the show as a whole?
Felt like Super A is a TV show, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love everything about it.
I love that they're watching The Thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was funny. Just do you guys watch Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
You know Craig, the guy that overexcited guy at the end.
Who shouts?
Matt said, blah, 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 but I loved it. And I just thought of that guy saying, blah, 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 and I loved it. And I loved it.
I loved it, Sean.
I don't know what it is, but I loved it. All right, I'm done. I'm sorry. Continue with Stranger Things. Anytime.
How great were the kids they got?
They were all perfect, and they were all also, I think, in line to be on the It reboot. And then when it fell through, that's when they were picked up for this.
Is it not working?
That's awesome.
Can y'all hear us?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. We're kind of quiet there for a second again.
It cut on us there for a second, so we were on the other side.
Or the upside down.
The upside down.
Oh. What Sean doesn't know about.
He doesn't.
Twitter.
Literally just said another reference I won't get.
That's going to be the banner art.
Just sit there and play your Pokemon Go.
It's going to be all of us on one side, and then it's going to be Sean on the other.
Well, with my hands in the air like, what?
We have to put him upside down, though.
Yeah.
I say just leave him for the fucking monster.
Demogorgon.
That's one thing I got from half of the episode I watched is there's some kind of monster or human meta knight or meta human.
Yeah, well, there's this little
Meta-Knight.
there's this little girl who escapes from this research facility. The only name she goes by is 11 because that's the only thing that's been given to her, and you slowly learn that she.
Oh wait, wrong movie.
You slowly find out that she has some abilities. She can do some crazy stuff, but every time she does it, it makes her super weak. So there's like
For a period of time.
Yeah, for a period of time, and she has to rest. And as she goes through and is doing something within the present time with the three boys, because the initial, I guess to kind of give you the general overview, there's these 4 kids. They're playing D&D one night. They all head home on their bikes. One of them goes missing. There's the kids go out trying to find their friend, and while they're trying to look for him, they run into who we then go by as 11 or L. And she ends up.
She's got like a Jean Grey kind of quality to her.
Yeah. And so she ends up like crashing in one of the boys in the basement.
Michael.
And it's pretty crazy because from the very first episode you have the mom of his name's Will, right? The boy that was taken.
Yeah.
Why
they didn't call Liam Neeson, I don't know.
You said she crashed into this dude's basement?
No,
She
she
fly?
crashed in.
like crashed,
Like,
like,
slept there.
slept over.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was picturing like Superman or Iron Man doing the superhero landing
No.
in this kid's basement.
This is why you got to watch the show, Sean.
So pretty much what's going on from the
She's
get-go.
seeking refuge from the government people.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much to like break it down to the bare bones.
into.
They want, the government's after her, and she's hiding out, and at the same time, they're uncovering this whole big conspiracy and learning more about what they call the Upside Down.
Yeah, and you realize that when 11 was using her powers, she went so far and she actually caused this connection between the two worlds, and that's what released the Demogorgon into our world, or allowed the Demogorgon to transport in between our world and the Upside Down.
Is it the actual name of it?
That's just what they're calling it, but we
Okay, yeah.
They haven't actually given it a name. That's just what the boys just start calling it.
So she's a link between two worlds?
No, she's
Essentially.
Yeah.
yes, I guess she is then.
I mean, like,
In simplest terms, yes, she is a link between two worlds.
in the most basic sense, yeah.
Yes, if you want your Zelda reference in the show, you have it. There. Are you happy?
That's not even what I was going with that one. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're fine.
The whole time Winona Ryder, Will's mother, is trying to figure out what's going on. She kind of has an idea that there's just something weird and inexplainable going on, and everyone thinks she's crazy. And she's like, "I know it sounds crazy, but I'm just telling you what's happening." And she is incredible in this show.
Oh yeah, she just all her little mannerisms and everything. She goes hard into that character.
It's just funny because, you know, like back in like the 90s and 80s, she played kind of the damsel in distress kind of, or the character that was kind of like, I can't remember what her name is in the show, but the one boy's brother. I mean, not brother, sister. And it's really cool to see her kind of be playing actually like the mother figure in this and playing it so well. And she, like, there's this whole thing where she has to set up Christmas lights because she's found a way to tap into communicating with him or communicating with her missing son. And the creature in this looks really cool. Like, it has no face. It's just, it kind of makes me think of the... Well, it makes me think of the
humanoid Starlight Pit.
I was going to say The Last of Us. Like, the creatures in that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Clickers. Those are called clickers.
That's right.
I know that one.
So, as far as the season finale, what are you guys feeling about that? What are you thinking about it?
I want to know what Hop said to those government guys.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
We already said
Oh,
that.
fuck you! You had time to watch it.
No, I'm talking about for other people. God, our listeners.
We've already established that spoilers are going to.
Spoilers will happen. I mean, that's kind of like that's the genesis of what we do. We spoil things
spoiler
and talk
cast.
about things.
especially when the show's been out, for 2 full months.
Yeah.
Every episode's
It
already
ruled the
on.
summer.
Yeah, that's why I figured with us, waiting a little while to do this show, it gave people enough time to get through it and then, allow us to discuss it openly without anyone, having anything spoiled. And they've even, a few of them, kind of a side note, a few of these people have already started doing some convention appearances.
Oh, really? Who?
Caleb, the guy who plays Lucas,
Mm-hmm.
I seen him pop up, I think it was for Tampa Bay?
Lucas,
Superman, I
which
think?
one was Lucas? That was,
He was the one that had the, I always wore the bandana. He was a little black kid.
okay.
There you go. The token black kid.
I know I've seen,
Well, if it was Toothless, I would have called him, Toothless.
he's actually done a lot of, autograph signings. I see a lot of that posted
Yeah.
on Facebook where he's being really nice to fans, which makes sense. I mean, they're kids, so.
Yeah.
They don't know yet.
Well, it's good that they have that foundation. So if these kids go on to make something even bigger. I think the girl who played 11 is going places for sure. They've got a level head.
I mean, these kids have a chance. It's not like they played Anakin Skywalker.
Right.
So they'll actually go on and do something.
Like I'm pretty excited for of all the kids, Mike, Finn Wolfhard is his name, the actor. I think he did pretty good because there was a lot of different little mannerisms and things that he brought to that character that it just, I don't know. I have a lot of respect when little kids can actually bring a lot to a character because when you have kid actors,
performances at kids.
yeah, I mean you've got these little humans that have no attention spans whatsoever, and to be able to direct them and to get a wonderful performance out of them, like they were getting, I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, there were no weak performances in this show at all.
Yeah,
the
they
kids
all,
stand toe to toe with Winona Ryder. I mean,
yeah, they all
And
clicked.
even David Harbour.
Good chemistry.
Yeah.
David Harbour, I was just about to say, he was wonderful in this. And this is the first time I've seen him not play a bad guy.
I think he honestly ended up being my favorite character overall.
Agreed.
Even more so than the kids. Because he was just, once you actually find out his backstory in the final episode, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You feel even more for him.
Yeah, because from the very get-go, from episode 1, with his coffee and contemplation, he just kind of has this, I don't give a fuck attitude. And he's
Well,
just like
he's the classic like sheriff in a western town kind of thing.
yeah, like he's just seen to he's dealing with everything that happened with his daughter and everything, and he's just being an asshole because it makes him feel good.
His daughter's 11.
No. Ooh, what a twist!
That is actually something I thought like early on in the season, and then as it progresses, you realize, okay, that's not the case.
That scene when he calls his ex-wife ripped my heart out. Hello?
As far as like heart ripping scenes, I think honestly it's either in the first or second episode where they're actually searching the woods, and his deputies are basically just joking around. He's deadpan serious, which goes against what you initially see of him at the beginning. That right there, I think, really sets the tone for his character.
Oh yeah, because it's like, look, this is the kid we're dealing with. I'm not fucking around with this, and obviously, given his history, it's like he's not going to cut corners with this. This isn't a bullshit case.
Just a complete shift in what you initially see from him. So, oh, he's all business now.
Yeah.
I mean, you get so much character development out of everyone.
It's so well written.
Well, except for like Will, you get nothing on Will, but
Yeah, I'm hoping that we get a lot more expanding on his character in season 2.
Because especially the way it ends, there's something up with him.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
when
I
you
mean, the thing is,
caught
we get more
mutant
from Will
slug.
than we do Barbara.
Yeah, Barbara didn't really make it long.
She's dead.
Yeah, and well, I was reading this one article and it said there will be some justice for Barbara.
I see that too, but I'm just not sure what they can do.
Right.
She's dead. She's gone. I mean, what else can you really say about her?
Right.
I just kind of wish they
we
would
haven't
make more
done
of an
anything
effort
with
to
her
help her.
family or anything. Like we've just kind of like once it was like to a certain point when they realized that she was dead, it was like, all right, well, let's forget about Barbara now.
But you also have to think the entire season takes place in about a week's time span.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't really have a lot of room to be like, oh, she's missing. Let's go find her now.
True.
Who was it that actually discovered her body? I can't remember. Was that Nancy?
I think no,
Yeah.
it was 11. It was 11.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
'cause it was
yeah,
on the
yeah,
swimming
Because she
pool.
was, it was when they were
And
in the
11
gym.
wouldn't have known who she was.
True.
Yeah, it was when they were in the gym and they made their own like hyperbolic sleep chamber thing.
Yeah,
He calls his teachers like, so if I wanted to, how do I make a hyperbolic sleep chamber?
How great was the teacher?
Awesome. Like the teacher was hilarious.
He
Like, I-
encouraged them almost a little too much.
He reminded me of Justin Long a little bit. I'm not gonna lie,
I can see that.
but it was just I don't know. He just
I guess we got another cutout.
So what's everybody's thoughts on, say, Steve?
Yeah.
He was kind of like that dick character.
This is my problem with him. I'm fine with them having a rekindled romance, but here's the problem with it. It happens out of nowhere.
That's true. They do build up, Jonathan Byers' relationship with Nancy, and all of a sudden at the end it's just she's back with Steve.
I want Steve gone. I don't like
Right.
Steve.
I just want him to move. I don't think he's like kill him bad, but
No.
he's like he doesn't need to be with Nancy.
yeah,
No.
like yeah, he's looking for redemption, and that's good that he is. But you screwed up, son.
He's ruining my ship, and I want him gone.
Yeah.
Because it was like I mean, because he like did. Because he got the camera, the replacement camera, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
I
He's
mean,
not a bad person, but he's taken a lot of missteps.
yep. But a big thing for him was when he stood up to his friends.
Those two,
And,
they
like,
can,
put
they
them
can
in
go
their-
to hell and they can die.
They can go. They can go to the upside down and stay there.
Honestly, I think they'd be like the first 2 deaths next season.
I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Feed them to
Calls
the
it-
creature.
Right in.
So, but yeah, like going back on everything with Will, like they released a teaser for season 2, and it was just all the episode titles. And we've got episode 1, Mad Max, then The Boy Who Came Back to Life, The Pumpkin Patch, The Palace, The Storm, The Pollywog, The Secret Cabin, The Brain, and The Lost Brother, and The Fall.
It's kind of almost got like a Stephen King kind of feel to the titles.
Yeah, they don't really give much away with their titles at all. I mean, The Boy Who Came Back to Life is most likely something about Will, but these other titles, there's just not. It doesn't give away what you're going to be seeing in that episode.
Yeah.
How much of that list did y'all hear me say?
We heard all
ended
of
at
it.
Lost Brother, I think.
It ended at Lost Brother? Okay. So, yeah, it cut out in the fall of 1984, and the adventure continues?
Yes.
Okay.
Meaning there's going to be a season 3.
Yeah, probably.
Meanwhile,
Going back to what we were talking about with Will and the future of him, we're probably going to get a ton of stuff in that second episode, just from the obvious.
Now, based on the episode title, The Pollywog, I would almost assume that that's going to be some kind of new monster that they're going to bring in.
Yeah.
It's very Jabberwocky in name.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the way I kind of received that.
Because a lot of their stuff that they're going by is just terms that they use in D&D.
Yeah.
So is the Pollywog some kind of creature or something?
Is it something else from the Upside Down that we haven't seen yet?
Yeah, maybe the creature from... Now, did Barbara die on the outside of the pool? But she got drugged into the pool, correct?
Well, she was sitting outside the pool and just got kind of snagged and pulled into
Yeah,
the
she was like
Upside
sitting
Down.
on the diving board and she got pulled in.
And we don't really know where her body actually ends up since we don't see the actual surrounding area. All we see is darkness around her.
So maybe that could be a connection there with the Pollywog.
Yeah. Because the main thing is, like, we only ever saw the one monster out of the Upside Down, so we have no clue what else is there.
Right. Which I would...
Undiscovered country, per se.
Yeah.
You don't know what could be lurking there. Because the one creature came to 11 almost like it heard her and came to her, so we don't even know what else is out there.
Well, what about the thing that Will coughs up? Maybe that's a reference to the Pollywog.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe he becomes some... Maybe what if he can willingly, like, end up, like, moving in between the worlds? Like, remember I went in in the living room where she literally sees Will, like, in the wall, like, screaming. And then, like, as soon as, like, she gets, like, tries to start, like, tearing down the wall or whatever, it starts changing. What if...
It very well could happen that Will becomes another link between the worlds.
And he was brought back out of it.
Start that over.
So what did y'all last hear?
We didn't even hear anything. Like, you kind of started and then it just cut out.
Sweet.
And then we got the last two words.
Awesome. All right, so I'll make it quicker then. Since he was stuck in the Upside Down, and he is now back. Now, they didn't really... I mean, again, they haven't gone too much into something besides the Demogorgon that travels in between the two places. So now that there's a human that has been both places and now is back in the real world, or the right side up, I guess we should call it. Sean,
makes me think when they flipped the pirate ship in the third Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Right? I don't care what anyone says. That was awesome.
The one big question too is like, what's going to happen with Joyce and Hopper and even Nancy? They all went in there without protective gear, or if they had it, they took it off.
Yep.
What does that mean for them?
And they were breathing it. Yeah. And again, with Hopper, how much are we going to go into? Like we were saying earlier, what did he tell them?
Yeah, like, we saw a part of the deal. We didn't hear the entire deal that he made with them.
Because even afterwards, like, he gets picked up from the police station by two, like, government-looking G-men guys, and they go drive off somewhere.
And then
I thought
the
he
next
was
time you
dead.
see-
I thought they were taking him off to kill him or something.
Right?
The next time you see him, he's hiding waffles in a little crate.
That tells me Eleven's still alive in some capacity.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Definitely.
but the question is he doing that out of his own volition, or is that coming from the suits?
To make it seem.
Like, are they trying to coax her back? Is like my thinking
It
on it.
wouldn't make sense if it was like a box. And if it was in the woods, because they're obviously they were able to find a means of getting into the Upside Down in the woods.
Yeah,
So it sounds like these, like, I guess you could say, portals kind of just sprout up wherever.
I mean, it's safe to assume that the Demogorgon could make its own, because it just
Yes.
kind of came and
It
goes
has
as
some sort of
pleased.
control over it.
So is that a power that Will's going to end up with?
Speaking of the Demogorgon, why did it go after Will in the first place?
He was the chosen one. I don't know.
My guess is it was. I mean, we already know that it likes the woods for sure. So my guess is it's tracking 11. Will just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It could be that, because I mean, we do know that it goes after blood, but Will, as far as we know, wasn't bleeding anymore.
Right. He wasn't. Like, he didn't fall off his bike or anything?
I don't.
No, as far as I can
I
tell,
don't
in the first
think
episode,
follow.
he's perfectly fine.
Interesting.
Yeah. So what is it that? Like, because I mean, it's not like he just ran across Will in the woods, and once Will was gone, he was like, okay, well, let's continue what I was doing. He specifically went after Will. He followed him.
It hunted him.
Yeah, like it. We can see that there's kind of a relentlessness to it. Once it catches the scent of something, it follows through.
That's what scares me about what else is lurking.
Could be
Yeah, like-
something a lot worse.
Like, this is literally tip of the iceberg, I would assume, because they're not going to show all the cards in their hand in the first season.
Oh no, that would take the excitement and kind of the fuel out of it.
What cards? There's still so many questions to ask.
Yeah,
Here's what I like about the show so much is the fact that they leave you with enough open-ended things and enough questions to, obviously they can continue the show and people are still wondering and speculating what's happening, but there's enough fulfillment where the story itself, at least the season 1 story, is still contained and still, for the most part, paid off, but there's so much more. It's almost like in the last episode or two, they kind of expanded it. It's like, okay, we're clearly coming to the end of this story, but this is just a small part of an even bigger story.
to me it feels like you're reading a book, you finish the first chapter or two, and you've got all these unanswered questions, but you've got answers to some things, and you're ready to continue on reading.
Yeah,
Yeah, had a good pace overall.
very good pace.
It just sucks we have to wait a year.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Hey,
maybe
I'll wait
watch
a
it.
year if it means we're going to get another great season. I don't want them to rush it. I want them to do it right.
Right. It's definitely gonna be worth the wait.
Maybe I'll catch up and have
Maybe.
my 2 cents.
Maybe.
You should.
We're just going to leave you in the Upside Down.
Whatever.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up before things get any stranger.
Oh.
Zing.
It's funny because it's called Stranger Things.
He said it. He said it.
All right. Well, until next time, I'm the other Luke.
I'm the other host.
I'm Sherlock Colvin.
I'm Lord Skywalker.
And I'm Ryden, and this has been the roast of the other host.